Resident Evil Requiem just got some huge leaks. We have a brand new interview with director Koshi Nakanish, where he officially commented about all of the various leaks in the wild. Now, if you guys haven't seen or been paying attention to anything, there has been a Tokyo Game Show happening, and in a broadcast for Tokyo Game Show, an IGN employee slipped up and revealed that Leon Kennedy will indeed be featured in Resident Evil Requiem. Which that right there is a big slip up. Like, let's be real though, we kind of already knew that Leon would be in this game, but to hear it from an IGN employee at Tokyo Game Show that probably saw the demo with him in it, this is pretty much all the confirmation that we need that Leon will be in this game. We also have new gameplay from the demo that was revealed during Tokyo Game Show I'll be covering. And speaking of demos, I've been seeing a lot of discussion online about whether or not the demo that we've seen at events like Gamescom and the recent Tokyo Game Show, will that be available for us to play? And if so, when could that be? We have a lot to cover, so check the video chapters for easy viewing, and let's dive in. So jumping straight into the interview discussion, this is from VGC. Andy Robinson posted this one, where he was at Tokyo Game Show and he was able to talk to the director Koshi Nakanishi and the producer Kumuzawa, and they spoke about a lot of stuff. So let's just go ahead and dive in. The first question was asked, it's a big anniversary year for Resident Evil, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary. How much did that factor into your thinking when you planned Requiem? To which the producer said it actually wasn't planned specifically to be a game releasing in this anniversary year, but due to the schedule of the project and as we went through trial and error in the development phase, it ended up landing in the 30th anniversary year. So I think we've often had people reading something into the anniversary and Return of Raccoon City like it was all part of the plan from the beginning, but they were actually two quite separate things originally. Let's say once it did land at the current release date, we felt a certain amount of responsibility or pressure to be the game that brings the series to the anniversary point, which, let's be real here, I think the producer Kumuzawa is being pretty cheeky. Like, I think he's being coy intentionally. I think maybe at the start they didn't know what they were doing, but I think at this point they know exactly what they're doing. This was fully intentional, I believe. The next question was asked, in some of the trailers that we've seen so far, there are hints of flashback sequences. Will we get to see much of Raccoon City in its prime? To which the producer said, we think it's important to balance the extra fun that you get from these nostalgic Easter eggs and hints and lore connections if you're a series fan, versus not making a game alienating to players who aren't caught up. I don't want people to feel like they have to do their homework to fully appreciate this game, which I think is sick. And this was kind of a long-winded statement, but he then said, if you're a fan and you see all the connections and the lore links and the background hints and stuff, I think you'll enjoy it at 150%. But if you're just trying to play this game as a horror game set in a ruined city, you'll be able to understand and enjoy 100% of it. This is when Andy Robinson asked the big question, and they said this: a lot of planning and thought goes into when Capcom announces its games and how it reveals information to surprise and delight fans. But of course, sometimes information leaks outside of its marketing plans. How disruptive is that for the development team, and is it stressful for you? To which Koshi Nakanishi responded, in a way, I can take it personally as a positive thing, because the fact that people are so interested that they want to see the information we haven't revealed yet, and then they start discussing online and speculating about things and reading those kind of information, it shows a huge amount of interest and passion on behalf of the fans. So I can try and make my mind to take it as a positive thing that they really want to know more about the game because ultimately they want to buy it. That said, not all leaks are right. There are things that are out there that are wrong or on the right track or on the wrong track, so we don't really know until the game is out whether it was disruptive to our plans or not, because it may not be related to anything we're doing. Andy Robinson then followed up and said, have you considered maybe putting out some fake leaks out there, speaking loudly in a bar about some pretend characters or similar? To which Koshi responded, we don't need to make fake leaks, we've got enough of those out there already. The producer then said, information appearing online in the form of a leak, whether it's true or not, doesn't really annoy me so much as the fact that information that has not been confirmed yet gets treated as gospel by people who just decided that it must be true, which I think that is a really fair take. Like, at the end of the day, like, I cover leaks and rumors, and some of the stuff that I cover is just a rumor, and it shouldn't be considered anything legitimate until we know for sure from Capcom themselves. So yeah, you do have to really navigate this like industry of leaks and rumors that way. Like, yeah, there's stuff that I cover that's completely wrong. There's stuff that I cover that's like dead on. So when you go out there and consume content, you just have to take that into consideration. I do my best to not cover anything that's like super far-fetched. But again, I make mistakes. The leakers make mistakes. They might have heard something from a secondhand source. They may be talking out there, you know what? It just happens. That's just how it is at the end of the day. But we've heard it many times at this point, like Dusk Golem has been pretty correct on most of the stuff that they've leaked. And honestly, until they're like fully wrong when it comes to Resident Evil Requiem, I have no reason not to believe this leak. Obviously though, as leaks go, take it with a grain of salt. This person might have seen something from like a different game or something like that. It could be not Leon at all. It could be just a different character, but let's be real, like it's probably going to be Leon, which in that case, if what they're saying is true, the next trailer for Resident Evil Requiem should have Leon in it. I was a bit shocked when we saw the state of play. I thought we would get something, you know, anything, like literally anything for Resident Evil, but they decided not to. They decided to show up at the Nintendo Direct, which I thought was really effective for them. Like seeing a Resident Evil game that looks that good on a Nintendo Switch system is awesome. But again, it's just weird not to see PlayStation really up front and talking about and showing off Resident Evil Requiem. But I believe their marketing rights, like they don't have it anymore with Sony. So I guess it makes sense that they did their own thing with Nintendo. However, we are getting really close to the end of the year. Like we are rapidly approaching that holiday season. And with that being said, they're going to have to start marketing Resident Evil Requiem soon. And the best way to do that is to, you know, just give us a trailer, start to unpack the true scope of this game. We still don't even know it. Like we know that there's going to be some like really horror elements with, you know, Grace's sections of the game, but we don't even know the second part of the game, which is allegedly going to be the Leon portions, all the Leon missions. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the next trailer for this game. I don't know when it's going to be. If I were to like guess, I would say that the Game Awards is probably our next best bet. I bet anything that Jeff Keighley would give an arm and a leg just to be able to show the reveal of Leon Kennedy back on stage and have that happen at the Game Awards. I mean, at this point in the year, it only makes sense for them to do that at this event. I mean, Jeff Keighley got to reveal Resident Evil Requiem to us at Summer Game Fest, so I have a feeling that he probably worked out a deal for marketing rights for both of those events. And if that's the case, then that's exciting news. Like the Game Awards, all eyes are on the Game Awards to see that Leon reveal. Maybe they do it randomly on Twitter, hard saying. I doubt it, but regardless, Leon in Resident Evil Requiem is pretty much an open secret at this point, and every day that passes, we get closer and closer to that full confirmation from Capcom. This brings us to the next topic that I want to talk about, and that is the Resident Evil Requiem demo that's been at places like Gamescom. It was at Tokyo Game Show, which we actually got new footage of that demo showed off at Tokyo Game Show. It looks amazing. I believe it was like 19 minutes long. Strongly recommend you check it out. I've got some gameplay footage in this video as well. But every time we see more of this gameplay demo of Resident Evil Requiem, the thing that I see online that everyone talks about is whether or not we will get to be able to play that demo in our homes on my projector. Yes, I want to play it as soon as possible. Will that be a possibility? When could this demo drop? Like I said, we are rounding out the year. We're in September. We're on the 29th right now. We're getting close to October, and you know what that means. Once we hit October, the rest of the few months are going to go by so quickly. And with that being said, when could we see this demo actually drop, if it will indeed drop? It's hard saying exactly when, but if I were to guess, I would say the next big trailer that we get for Resident Evil Requiem, if that is at the Game Awards in December, that is likely when Resident Evil Requiem will indeed drop the demo, which if that's the case, then we could be just a few months away from actually playing the demo. Now, is that enough time between, you know, like then and the release in February? I personally think it is. I think that's a solid like timeline. Give people the opportunity to play the game and experience it, and then you drop it, you know, a couple months later. Now, there is a possibility that we don't actually get a demo release for this game, which it is very possible. It would be unfortunate though, mainly because of the marketing opportunities that, you know, arise when you have a playable demo. Like you get people the game in their hands to experience it themselves, and they're more likely to make the decision to purchase the game. And if you drop the demo after you show off Leon, then that's only going to bolster people's reason to go and play the demo that might just be only about Grace. She is a brand new protagonist at the end of the day, and with that comes some risks, and you want to kind of avoid that. And the best way to do that is to drop a demo. But that's going to wrap it up with this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe with your noties on. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.